Michigan Out of Doors Online is brought to you in part by Mr. Muskie Charters, offering full-service guided fishing trips for walleye, muskie, bass, and sturgeon on Lake St. Clair and the Detroit and St. Clair rivers. Booking information is online at mrmuskiecharters.com.
Do you have a hunting invention and don't know where to turn? With over 25 years of experience in the hunting industry, Greg Abbas has helped hundreds of inventors reach their dreams and can help you too. To find out more, visit our website or give us a call today.
Hey everybody, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors, and thank you so much for joining us this week. We've got a brand new show for you, and we're going to kick things off in the turkey woods on this week's show with probably one of my favorite stories that's going to happen this entire year. I was able to get out with my 11-year-old son and get him his first turkey. It was a ton of fun with some great, exciting footage. You won't want to miss that. We're also going to have a story on suppressors, teach you everything you want to know about those, and we're going to have time for a jambalaya recipe that has some pheasants in it, and I tell you what, I think we're going to have time for a bragging board as well. Lots of good stuff on this week's show. You stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger. It's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan Out of Doors.
What a beautiful day in the woods.
Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's a love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Country Smokehouse, a sportsman's destination since 1988. Featuring varieties of homemade sausage, jerky, brats, and gourmet entrees. Holiday gift boxes can be assembled in-store or online. Details at countrysmokehouse.com. By Grilla Grills of Holland, Michigan, makers of wood pellet, charcoal grills, and professional pellet smokers. Grilla Grills are designed for ease of use to improve your grilling and smoking skills. More information at grillagrills.com. By AnglerQuest Pontoons, a mid-Michigan company building boats for fishermen by fishermen. AnglerQuest pontoons are designed for comfort and functionality. On the web at anglerquestpontoons.com.
Soaking in the rich tradition of Michigan hunting for over 30 years, Vanguard is proud to sponsor our friends at Michigan Out of Doors TV.
I have been lucky enough to get out with my youngest boy, Scout, who is 11 years old, a few times this early part of the turkey season. Now, last week was one of our last times out, and so when friend of the show, Brandon Nutt, mentioned he had some birds just a few miles from where we'd already been hunting, well, we jumped at the chance. We were set up hoping to catch some birds on their way to roost. Now, we had a couple of cameras running tonight and high hopes. Had a few lone hens that traveled the field we were in, but so far, no toms or jakes. We were hoping for a longbeard tonight, but more than happy with a jake as well. So after about an hour and a half, things started to really happen, and it was one of the most exciting 5 minutes I've had in the woods in quite a while. Just let him go. Get your finger up. Get your finger up by the trigger. Just take your time. We're not going to shoot yet. Okay, you're going to have to move your sticks.
a boy. Oh, my word, dude. What a great shot.
I have to say, I was so impressed with Scout and how he handled some very tense moments. He acted like an old pro, and once the shot finally presented itself, which it was not an easy shot, he could not have done better.
That was such an exciting hunt. We had nothing all night and just a couple lone hens, and I think it was 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
And that's, Scouty, what happened when these toms started coming in, or these jakes?
They came in like right over there, and then they were just like all close together. Then another like group came in, and I shot one.
Yeah, they just wouldn't give us a shot, and that was, I hope we can hear it. They're right there. And Scout says, "Are you shaking as much as me?" I said, "I think so." That was super fun. See how they're jumping on it over there now?
Yeah.
That was awesome. Nice job, buddy. Oh, I thought they were going to walk right out of here. They just they were only 10 paces from us, but they just wouldn't separate. And every time one would almost do it, they'd move. And so really once they started all walking away, that one on the far left gave us a good look. And he was moving, and the old 20 gauge worked like a charm.
Yeah.
Well, here's Scouty's first bird, a nice jake. Want to say a special thanks to Brandon Nutt, who scouted this field last night. And Brandon, thanks. And yeah, we've been hunting just a couple miles from here, and just not a lot of birds. But Brandon's like, "Hey, I got a field they've been coming into at night." And sure enough, after we saw a bunch of lone hens, we got lucky with the big jaker. Was that exciting for you?
Yeah.
You were shaking pretty good.
Mhm.
Well, super fun. Nice shot, Scout. He was going away. He was walking. He's almost 30 yards. That was a beauty. Nice job. Come here.
What a special time to get your kids a field. It makes it so much more fun and rewarding to see them notch a tag. Now here's one item that I used this year that I've been pretty impressed with.
It's really nice when you're hunting with kids to have a pop-up blind or something, but just limits you and how mobile you can be. And so this little thing has worked out pretty good. It gives you just enough cover for calls, and having a kid, it's just our heads popping up above this, and this just folds up real easy, and kind of a little hub style deal. And I tell you what, if you're hunting with a kid, these are pretty slick. It goes right into your backpack. One thing I noticed about hunting with Scout is that when we sit on the ground, his gun barrel is only about 18 inches off the ground, and so most blinds and stuff, or it's just really, really low. So to get him up a little bit, and then this you can kind of angle towards you. So this was only, as you saw, maybe a foot or so, foot and a half up there, and able to get that gun barrel right over. So kind of a nice new little toy for us this year.
What a great night. What a memory to share. The out of doors is one magical place. I hope you can get out this spring here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
For our next segment on this week's show, I was down in Jackson, Michigan, learning all about suppressors, why you might want one, what it takes to get one, and also highlighting a company right here in Michigan that makes them.
We are located in Jackson, Michigan. I've been manufacturing suppressors since 1993 under the GSL technology name. Basically, I started out as a loan company. I joined Gemtech in 94, 95, and I was the president of Gemtech for approximately 20 years. I did all the R&D and development and machining for Gemtech up until about 2015, 2016. We have since gone our own direction. We're going solo by ourselves. The biggest problem that we have is everybody watches movies and they think the suppressors are basically, silent, like the movie. Everything in the movie is dubbed in. There's nothing that's live. So basically what it does, it takes the sting out of the suppressor so you can shoot it actually without hearing muffs. It has a lot of benefits. It's like driving a car. Nobody wants to drive a car with no muffler on. It's the same sort of thing. We take that out of there and take the sting out so It's not an assassin weapon. It's a hearing protection device to keep you out in the field without having to wear muffs and things of that nature. A lot of people who hunt, a lot of people who are military or police have serious hearing loss, and their lawsuits that are coming through because of that are quite intense. So that's what we're trying to do is help that situation.
Located just outside of Jackson, everything from the design to the construction of these suppressors is done right here in Michigan, which allows them to build a variety of different suppressors for all kinds of different guns.
GSL has been around since 1993. We take a lot of pride in what we do here. We are an ISO 9001-2015 certified facility. We are a suppressor manufacturer and only a suppressor manufacturer. Being ISO means that we basically control absolutely everything from start to finish of the builds of the suppressors alone. We're right here in Jackson, Michigan. Michigan is a manufacturing state. That's one of the main reasons why GSL will never leave Michigan. It's very easy for us to get materials here. You know, it's kind of one of those homegrown situations. Everything that we purchase comes from here. Outside of, you know, a couple of small parts here and there that you just don't have available in Michigan. We do all of our builds in-house from start to finish, right down to the Cerakote painting and laser engraving of the serial numbers and so forth on the suppressors themselves. Purchasing a suppressor is actually pretty easy. A lot of people really do get intimidated by it. The best news that we can tell you is your Class 3 dealer is going to take care of you. It's their job to help us. So they're going to walk us right through it right from the beginning. You walk into the store, they have it in stock. If they don't have it in stock, they're just going to call us and order it in. Once they have it in their possession, they're going to have the customer fill out what's called a Form 4 with the ATF. That is not much more than what it takes to buy a pistol. A pistol, you purchase it on a 4473. It's just a series of questions, some signatures. They're going to do a background check on you, something simple like that, and then it's done. A Form 4 transfer of an NFA item, which a suppressor is an NFA item, is going to be half a dozen more questions or so. You'll have to take some passport photos and you'll have to give fingerprints. Unfortunately, you're also going to write a check for $200 to the ATF. That's Uncle Sam's going to get his share. Then from there, it's just a small waiting period. The ATF has really worked hard on the wait times and they have decreased. So we're actually getting the forms back quicker. A very common misconception of owning an NFA item, whether it be a short-barreled rifle, short-barreled shotgun, a suppressor, a machine gun, is the number one question I get asked is, doesn't the ATF have the right to come into my house and search and seizure anytime they wish? The answer is absolutely no. The ATF has no more power to come into our homes just because we own a suppressor than the police do.
One of GSL's newest suppressors was made for a very popular gun here in Michigan, the 450 Bushmaster.
One of the newest versions of the GSL, or in the GSL suppressor line, is our GT450. It is a 450 Bushmaster suppressor. The GT450 takes your 450 Bushmaster rifle and makes it a little more tolerable to shoot. It's going to help reduce your recoil. It hides all your muzzle flash. It's also going to increase your accuracy because it's going to remove what's called muzzle flinch from when we are anticipating that shot. So obviously putting a suppressor on your rifle will remove that from it removes the fear. It removes the big bang of the gun.
Special thanks to the guys from GSL for not only giving us some insight on what it takes to get a suppressor, but also what the advantages are to using one.
Well, everybody, we are here once again at Antlers Fireside Grill just outside of Canadian Lakes. We're here with Jim Wood, chef extraordinaire once again. And Jim, we got a big pot, we got lots of stuff. What are we doing here today?
We're gonna make a jambalaya, kind of clean your freezer out jambalaya, I guess you will. Not a lot of rules here.
Now with jambalaya, how does the rice cook in with jambalaya? Do you put it on top of? I've had it kind of both ways before.
Yeah, we're gonna actually cook it in with the dish itself. So on top, a lot of times that might be a gumbo.
Okay. Now do you need to do the rice ahead of time or?
Nope, the rice is uncooked. Okay. Yep, it's just gonna cook.
All right, how do we get started?
All right, so add a little bit of oil to the pan.
Now see you got some sausage and some seafood, so you could do a little bit of everything in this, fish, venison.
Yep, so we're gonna use andouille sausage, pheasant, and a little bit of crawfish. So everything you can get here in Michigan. Right. If you didn't want to use andouille, you could go, I've seen smoked whitefish sausage, which would go really good in here. And then
Could you use summer sausage, like from deer? Okay.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of rules, and that's what's great about this.
Perfect.
I happen to have some pheasant, so I decided to use it. You could use grouse, woodcock, duck, turkey. I mean, really anything. Okay. And then in terms of the seafood element, which most jambalayas will have a seafood element, we're using crawfish, but you could use salmon, lake trout, anything really.
Oh, okay.
So.
All right. Now, how do you decide what you're going to put in first?
So we're doing what the French call Mirepoix, which is celery, onions, carrots, but down in the South, the Creole, they'll call it the Holy Trinity, and they'll omit carrots and they'll add green pepper. So it's basically the foundation of all Southern cooking starts right here.
Is the meat already cooked over there, or that's all still raw?
Everything is cooked except for the pheasant.
Okay.
But once again, I mean, you can use cooked. I mean, I've seen ground venison jambalayas. I mean, that's what's great about this. Anything you have lying around. If you want to add different vegetables, mushrooms, asparagus.
So, but you should cook the meat first before you stick it in here, or can you cook it in here while it's?
No, we're gonna cook the pheasant at the end when the rice is almost cooked. We're just gonna throw that in, mix it around, and it'll cook through. Once these sweat down a little bit, you're gonna add your andouille sausage. Nice. Now there's always, I shouldn't say always, but in the South, you're going to add some sort of smoked sausage product, and traditionally, you would use this andouille, and you can already kind of smell it right now. Andouille's got a little bit of jam to it, a little bit of zip, and it's really smoky.
After it cooks down a little bit, add in some bay leaves, Creole seasoning, Tabasco, tomatoes, rice, and some chicken stock, and it's ready for the next step.
So what we're going to do here is we're just going to bring this up to a boil, and then we're going to reduce it down to simmer, and we're going to cook it for about 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay. And
then we're going to add our seafood, and we'll be done.
All right, Jim, so we cooked this down. What are we going to do to kind of finalize this dish here?
So we need to cook the pheasant because it's still raw.
Okay.
So we're going to add that. We're going to hit the pheasant with just a little bit of salt.
Do the crawdads go in yet or no?
They're going to go in right at the end. So it looks like the pheasant is about halfway cooked now, 3/4 of the way cooked, and we don't want to cook this to 165 degrees like you would chicken.
Okay.
It's wild game, it's going to be a little tougher, so we're going to cook it to maybe medium-ish.
Okay.
So now, and all we're really doing here is just kind of warming the crawfish through. All right, so we'll add just a little more green onion to this, and this is ready to rock. Jambalaya.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am a Michigan man. From the Keweenaw down to St. Joe, Kalamazoo, East to Monroe, to St. Marie and back again. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am a Michigan man. Say when in wega when manani abna minga nishnabe anishnabe. If I should die across the sea on a peninsula, you can bury me. On my headstone it should read, "Here lies a Michigan man."
Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching Michigan Out of Doors this week. If you missed part of this week's show or you want to see something again or maybe last week's episode, you can always check us out online at michiganoutofdoorstv.com. And if you do the social media thing, we're on several different platforms there as well. And if you do get on YouTube from time to time, you can subscribe to our channel there, Michigan Out of Doors. That way when we post the show or when we post some additional content that we've been doing more and more of, you'll get an email with some of that brand new stuff. So good way to keep up on what we're doing. And hey, make sure that you are getting out and enjoying this time of the year. The turkeys are gobbling, the fish are in the river, the fish are in the lakes. We've got lots of good stuff coming over the next several weeks. So hey, if we don't see you in the woods or in the water, hopefully we'll see you next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Greenstone Farm Credit Services, making recreational land ownership possible across Michigan and northeast Wisconsin. Begin your land financing journey at one of Greenstone's 37 locations or visit greenstonefcs.com. Michigan's hunters and anglers are essential partners to the health of the state's wildlife and habitats. The Michigan Wildlife Council is dedicated to ensuring our hunting and fishing heritage and Michigan's natural resources are preserved for future generations. By Pictured Rocks Boat Cruises of Munising, exploring Lake Superior's Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore. With its sandstone cliffs, caves, waterfalls, and lighthouses, Pictured Rocks Boat Cruise is on the web at picturedrocks.com. Closed captioning provided by Marvo Mineral, makers of Lucky Buck, deer management products including minerals to supplement deer diets year-round to improve health and antler growth.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am a Michigan man. From the Keweenaw down to St. Joe, Kalamazoo, East to Monroe, to St. Marie and back again. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love